Okay, wait. Oh.
Tori, what is up, my darling dear?
Hello, darling dear.
I feel really weird because I told you last show I don't have a mic, so I have this little lapel one, and I like to just hold my other
Yeah,
mic.
just hold it. It looks weird without it.
I don't know where. Yeah, I feel like I'm giving an interview at home, like a CNN correspondent. I don't know where it is. How are you?
Do you have like a spoon?
Do I have a hairbrush? I don't know. Oh, I can. Let me get this fake mic. Hold on.
Okay. Okay. Hi, colleagues. It's really good to see everybody. January's taking forever. And also, guys, I just had a such a Jewish sandwich. I had a turkey, smoked turkey with Havarti, slaw, Russian dressing on toasted rye. And then I got a little salt and vinegar chips too.
Okay, why? You know that we're going to trivia tonight. Why did you not get me a sandwich? You know I come from a Jewish community in the fine city of Cleveland. I know my Jewish delis, girl.
It's really good. It's Levin Deli. We've had them on the show a million times. It's amazing. Sue Kitchen, thank you so much. Al, if you didn't know, I went on Instagram and did like a whole Pulp Fiction dance.
How would I possibly know that?
Because you're on Instagram and you follow your friend.
Nah, you should check.
Do you not follow me?
Of course I do. That'd be so weird.
So yeah, I did this whole thing and I was trying to like look cool and I don't know. I feel like it fell flat. So thank you so much.
Which dance? The one they did to
It
win
was
the
a
prize?
teenage wedding and the old folks wished him well.
Yeah. All right. I'm sure it's good. Your Instagram is really good because obviously Sarah sees it all the time and I look over her shoulder and I'm like, yo, that was like you post funny stuff. Like you're really good on Instagram.
Thanks. Your shirt's really cool. Everyone's talking about it. Let's see it.
Oh, it says kids on the spectrum are dope.
Right.
And I don't really need this here. It's just blocking nothing.
No, I like it. I like it.
Okay.
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
I'll
It's
put
better.
it to the side like Cronkite. I did a really fun show last night at this place called Shanahan's. Have you ever heard of that?
Yeah. Stranahan's?
Stranahan's, yes. I am such an old black man. You sit there and you like look at it's Stranahan's. Wait, okay. Yeah, that's what it is. And it was like such a cool, fun venue. And it's just, I was telling one of the comics, who knew that breweries are really great for comedy shows? There's like 150 people in there, but it's like they have the big metal vats that I think they are like a real brewery, not like a boutique brewery.
Right.
Like they're like there are spaces for trucks to, you know, back up. It's a big brewery and like so they're the huge vats and it just sounds great. It's good for acoustics. Had a blast.
That's
What's
amazing.
up with my sandwich?
What'd you say?
What's up with my sandwich?
Oh, I'll buy you a brat at trivia tonight.
Okay, I'm gonna hold you to that. I do like corned beef sandwiches, but I realize that they are very regional and sometimes people don't know what you're talking about. People say corned beef hash, and I'm like, no, a corned beef sandwich, corned beef on rye with mustard. Some people get it with cheese, but it's like such a staple in Cleveland.
Yeah.
That's what honestly I was thinking about because I went when I was back home to do Toledo for New Year's Eve. Obviously, I stayed in Cleveland one night, hung out with my boy Mark, and I went to my old deli. Tori, the same people.
It's great.
That were in there when I was in high school are working there. It's just such a family location, but they kind of blew up. So there's like they bought the building next to them. I didn't like that. You know, like you kind of hate on like when you see a band kind of go from like performing in bars to then doing like Denver Broncos Stadium, and you're like, I should be happy for you, but I'm not. I want you to stay small and just mine. But yeah, they're doing great. And I got a huge corned beef sandwich. Like that would be my meal if I was on death row, my last meal. 100%.
Oh yeah, mine is lean corned beef, Russian dressing, coleslaw on a Kaiser roll. Done.
That's your final meal?
We're finished. We're finished.
Really? How have we not shared corned beef if it's both of our final meals. We should make it a non-final meal.
We should just go out for corned beef.
I wonder if there's like a legit deli, because so you got to slice the meat right. Sometimes
It's got to be lean. You got to be
it's
lean.
got to be lean. A lot of places it's too fatty, and they try and cut it like pastrami. We could get into a whole thing.
Totally.
But like, if you don't do corned beef, don't do corned beef, because you're gonna anger people. Like you're messing with tradition, bro.
That's
that
right.
bread needs to be lightly toasted. It needs to be rye. I don't want to continue.
Exactly.
Tori, I wanted to find like a quick fun story to get into before we get into all the other stuff we got to have a chit chat about. But this is not fun. But I wonder, colleagues, have y'all seen this? I thought he was teasing this for some kind of weird TMZ rollout, because they're always doing something on a double-decker bus. So I thought it was like some propaganda. But Ray J says 2027 is definitely a wrap for me. WRAP. And like, I'm wrapping it up. And I was like, well, I blew past this 9 times. And it says, Ray J says his health is failing. Ray J famously was in the sex tape with Kim Kardashian, which really, he was at the jet. I know, right? I'm just, some people might not know. His name was not listed at the bottom. But it says the rapper took to his social media to directly address his fans after his recent hospitalization, telling them point blank, 2027 is definitely a wrap for me, while waving his hand in front of his throat like he's telling somebody to cut the mic. Ray J reveals that his heart is operating at only 25%.
Oh my God.
With doctors giving him a short time to live. He says his heart is mostly black. I effed my S up. And he admits that comes from years of drinking and partying.
I didn't know that can make your heart black.
Yeah, I mean, if it's necrotic tissue, it's just dead tissue. I mean, maybe that's what it looks like on the MRI, but
that's horrendous. I'm so sorry to hear that.
Yeah, I kept looking for this, like, this must be a joke, because he still looks young. Like when people's health is failing, they lose a lot of weight and they look kind of gaunt. He still looks like Ray J. That's why I was like, stop effing around, dog. But yeah, it looks like it's real.
I hope he's on the heart transplant list. I really do. That's possible. I mean, there is possible.
It is, but first of all, I'll ask you this, and maybe it's already a rule. What do you think about people that partied their heart to death, as opposed to people that were in a traumatic car accident and their heart stops and like they need it, or they're a kid? Like what do you think the hierarchy should be? Or should it just be like, you're Ray J?
It should be whoever needs it the most. And usually children will jump to the top of the list. But he's, I don't think they say like, if you're a good person or not, you go higher or lower. It's not like hell or heaven. I think it's just like, if you like really need a heart, I think you go to the top of the list at some point. But
everybody on that list really needs a heart. It's not just like we're waiting for reservations at a cool night spot.
Yeah, but
everybody.
I think some people need it within the next like 2 days, as opposed to like they have 6 months. So I think it's an order of that. 20% is really bad, says Perry. Perry says the heart can heal that dead tissue, but only 20%. Damn, I pray he gets help.
Yeah, that's crazy.
My mom's
though,
heart.
right?
Yeah, it's very, very hard on the body when the heart isn't working at 100%. 20% is horrible. So let's give prayers up to Ray J.
Absolutely. Never thought I'd be saying that today.
No.
All right, Tori, it was unexpected, but let's get to this, because this kind of was expected. Tori.
Oh, wait. Shelly says, as a general rule, they do not give transplants to people who have not been clean and sober for at least 1+ years. Good to know, Shelly. Thank you for saying
that. I mean, because
they wouldn't be able to take it,
Well, even if they could, I mean,
it's a waste of an organ.
Yeah, well, if you have cirrhosis from drinking it up, and you get a new liver, you might be like, a new lease on life. Line them up, fellas.
Yeah, exactly.
I got a new car. Like, yeah. I mean, you want to think that somebody's going to get their stuff together, but I would think that somebody that has kind of had bad luck befall them would beat you out on the list. But again, thank you, Shelly. I didn't. That was interesting. All right, Tori, let's get into this really quickly. Obviously, have you been following what's been going on in Minnesota? Obviously, Bovino out.
Bovino is out. A federal judge has asked that Homan, the border czar, is staying till it gets fixed. The rhetoric has toned down, and Trump
Has
said,
it?
well, Trump and them are backtracking the idea that Preddy was a domestic terrorist or an assassin, which is what Stephen Miller and Christine Noem came out and said. We're also seeing Trump say Bovino's pretty good, but he's pretty out there. Those were his words. Quote, he's pretty out there. He might not have been a good fit there. Okay.
That's the same thing he says about Stephen Miller.
Yeah, I know.
But yet Stephen Miller's been with him for 10 years.
He says Stephen can't reveal his real thoughts because they're so bad. Yeah, at this point, the in Minnesota, the bill is, are we getting to that later? The bill. Should we just say that now?
We can get to now.
Okay, I was just letting you guys know that bill that I was writing on my Instagram about how to write a script and how to call your senators and your congressmen, you guys made it work. The bill has failed so that 8 senators, Republican senators, went over and went on the Democratic side and refused to give another $10 billion to ICE, which was up on the table, and it had passed in the House. It has failed in the Senate. And so therefore
failed in the Senate. That's crazy.
And there's only 100 people there. I mean, that's why you see the Senate is harder to get into and harder to get elected to. It's seen as the more higher branch, to be super honest. But yeah, the 10 billion will not be coming. And we're starting to just see cracks in the Republican Party saying this is not what we want. This is not what we asked for. And Trump obviously getting rid of Bovino and sending Homan, it's a clear signal that things got out of control. I think things got way worse, but yeah, clear signal from the top down that they are receiving the message. This is not popular with people. This is not okay with a lot of congressmen and senators. And yeah, it's somewhat of a change. Now, January 30th, I don't know if you heard about this, Al, is like Ice Out Day. Have you heard about this?
No, is that where I wear all my jewels?
It's where you wear your
the ladies.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry.
It's so no schools advocating no shopping and no restaurants. So we are supposed to just ice out everything as sort of a monetary protest as to what's going on in Minnesota.
Right, and that's nationwide?
That's nationwide.
Well, you know, apparently this has been kind of a thing that's been percolating for a while. And because I looked into the organization, I forgot what they're called, Strike Now or Mass Strike or something like that. And they said that in order for this to have a real effect on our economy, you need 11.5 million people out of what, 340 million to participate. And I think that we did see a little bit of that, at least with the black squares, you know, when that was on Instagram. Now I know it's a lot easier, but we're going on like year 2 of black people having nothing to do with Target. Nothing.
Yeah.
And they got rid of their old CEO, brought in a new one, but continue to kind of double down on the Trump policies, even though the headquarters for Target is where, Tori? Minneapolis.
I was just going to say Minnesota, I think.
Yeah, I think it's I don't think it's in Minneapolis, but it's in Minnesota, which is even crazier. But they are just, you know, they are. I'll say this about the Trump regime: they are ride or die. I mean, we're going to get to Nikki later in the show, but just these people that have put gasoline in a match to their careers, to their relationships. And I mean, for as much as we might laugh at some goofy senator that supported Trump, you have to work for that. You got to, you know, law school and pay your dues, and then you just allow some dude to de-pants you in front of the country, and then you just go. They just ride for him.
It's a cult, in my opinion. It's a personality cult in that way.
Absolutely, I think it is, and I don't want to throw cold water on what you're saying about there being a shift in Minnesota, but I'm going to. I think it's a head fake. I don't think this is real. I think that this is a change in tactics, and they kind of, you know, for as much as everybody tries to paint this administration as this encroaching, evil, potential dictator, which it definitely could be, they're also not really good at a lot of stuff. So they always tip their hand at what they're about to do. And they've all come out and said, they haven't said really the problem is our ICE officers' behavior. What they're saying is we're having a lot of issues with people recording it, which is not a great thing. What if your daycare said that? Like, we saw that you were feeding the kids spoiled milk. Yeah, we fired the guy who recorded that. No, that's not the issue. The issue is like what you're doing. And so I'm worried, Tori, because when I did the show solo yesterday, I was looking at articles, and there's a lot of firsthand accounts from people, and they're saying that ICE is showing up at their homes now. I don't know if you remember, we showed a clip last week, and there's like just a, working class, middle class, maybe in suburban mom recording ICE. Nothing happened between her and the ICE officer, but he's kind of bullying her off by like pushing her away with his presence. And she goes, "Is it illegal to record?" And he goes, "No." And she goes, "Then why are you recording me?" He goes, "Because now I got you in a database."
Yeah, I saw that.
Right. Yeah. And after he said that, people have started to receive knocks at their door.
Yeah.
There's a woman on when I talked about yesterday on the show that wrote I don't know, maybe it might have just been an X post, but she was like, she's just a mom with kids in the house. She gets a knock at the door. It's ICE. They have the street blocked off on both ends, saying, "What's up with what you protesting?" So I think, and they have been saying that the demonstrations have been a lot less. I think it's highly effective to scare the mess out of people, to not only confront somebody in the street wearing a mask, but now a guy knows where you live that wears that mask.
I completely agree with you. I also want to let you know that ICE agents have been going to homes and saying now that they actually don't need warrants signed by judges. They already have an administrative warrant for doing their immigration work, which is totally unconstitutional, which is terrifying. But I do agree with the chat as they're talking. It might not be that they felt this murder was too much, but it doesn't, as Matilda say, help that the NRA went up against it, and that the approval ratings for ICE is against them is 63%. I mean, high majority of Americans are like, this is not what we want. Even Republicans are like, this is not okay. So it might not be for the right reasons, but the ratings and the sense in the country that this is not working has come all the way up to the White House, and we're seeing some changes. But I also just saw a video of Bovino. And remember when I said this before, Al? I said, I bet someone told them to be trigger happy. He was like, I want you to go out there and be as hard as you can. This is our effing city. And he's like, and you know what I mean? Be ethical, be moral, be legal. But if someone touches you, they're ours. That's, and it's like,
what is he giving the speech before the homecoming game in the locker room? You douche.
Like, oh, crazy. He was like, I mean it. Take all your power. And then he's like, we got this city. This is ours. And it's very like pumping you up to be ready to be aggressive no matter what. So anybody in Minneapolis watching, anyone from Minnesota, we're with you. But tomorrow is the national strike. It's the ICE out. So no spending money, no going to school, and no going to restaurants as well. And we'll see, I think Chicago, Minnesota, New York, Portland, we're going to see those big cities turn up for the strike in a lot of ways.
All right. Well, since we're talking about big cities that are being targeted by this administration, let's do this. Let's take a trip down to the ATL, Hot Atlanta. Tori, we're traveling to Atlanta. Do you know why?
Why?
Because the FBI raided the elections office down there over some shit that went on in 2020. Yes. He will not give it up. You know what I was thinking about as I was like reading this and like getting ready to talk about this is I have been talking about this for 6 years. Let it go.
He can't.
Tori.
I know. Textbook narcissist, when something sticks in their craw, and I'm not 100% sure what a craw is. I think it's your teeth.
Oh, maybe.
Your beak. But when something sticks in their craw as a narcissistic personality disorder, they can't ever let it go. It will ruminate, loop and loop and loop and loop and loop until, I mean, they'll just continually talk about it as if you haven't heard it over and over and over and over before. So, yeah, we're back.
And you can tell it bothers him because when he gets lost in speeches, he
just
goes back to that.
Totally.
He's like telling foreign leaders, like, I won the election. You're like, sir, I don't care.
Yeah.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah. So a craw is an animal's holding pouch in their throat area.
Oh. I think sometimes some animals don't have like highly developed stomachs like we do. Like ours has
Yeah.
acid to start to break it down, and sometimes you just gotta hold it. You use your third hand. That's my throat. That's
A
so gross.
holding pouch is such a gross term.
That's like some guy that just gives you the ick where it's like you're like, he's cute, he's a lawyer, he's single with no kids, and he's like, girl, I can't wait to get home and get in your holding pouch. And you're like, I need you to take me home. I need to go home right now, and I need to give me your phone so I can delete my number out of there. That is so gross and weird.
Like, oh, a pouch. Oh,
Yeah. All right, well, Tori, well, people had some suspicions about why this was done now. Obviously, Georgia is a key state. Georgia is also the state where he called, what was it, the governor, and said he needed 11,417 votes, 71 votes. You know, and also, this is kind of the birthplace of the voter conspiracy. And what do you need when your voters are down because they're seeing your policies bankrupt their towns, close up their hospitals, you know, ostracize them from their family, and shoot women, you know, and men and VA nurses. You got to change the narrative back to a good old. It's just like sometimes, you know, when you go to a concert and you know, they're like, I got a new song here, and they're like, all right, it starts out about America, and the audience is like, boo, and then they kick right back into their old hits. They're like, sorry about that. We're gonna go back to Sweet Caroline.
Yeah. Play ants marching.
Yeah. Do the stuff we know.
It's
do
like
the stuff we know.
Yeah, and again, I'll bring this up, but Roy Cohn, who taught Trump everything he knows, was like, when you're on the defense, go on the offense. And the offense for him is the voting was rigged. The voting was rigged. The election was rigged. Blah, blah, blah. Even though every court, everybody has all said, we all went through it, that this is not true. This is his old coming around the mountain as she goes, and he's coming around the mountain.
It's coming around the mountain as she comes. It's not as she goes.
She'll be coming.
If she's coming, why? How could she be going?
She'll be coming around the mountain as she comes. As she goes. She'll be coming around the mountain. She'll be.
All right, I'm pretty sure that song isn't copywritten. I just don't want to hear it anymore.
No, it's fair use. Yeah, fair. That's totally
fair. But there is a little conspiracy out there, and a little bit of conspiracy Al coming in. I want to know what you think about this. Did you see what Trump posted last night?
Which part? Which one?
About the area being shady. Remember, Giuliani lost a defamation case because he said that those two black women were passing a voter hard drive to each other, and this older black woman was like, it was a ginger mint, and she was so sweet, but like those people got death threats to the point where they had to move, and they are basically in witness relocation to this day. Trump also mentioned them in this. It's unbelievable. But basically, Trump reposted a post from a raging psychopath that said that the vote flipped because the FBI, this is a quote, the FBI, CIA, China, Obama, some Italians, that's what it said, some Italians, not all, some Italians are dope. You know, like Jersey Shore, not them. So I don't know what that meant. Italians. And government satellites flipped the vote, and that's why Trump lost. And what they're saying is Trump's gonna do one or two things with this, possibly, because we've seen what he's trying to do in Minnesota, which is send in troops. And of course, what did they ask for, Tori? The voter rolls.
Yeah.
I thought you were there to protect our city. Why would we want you out? They said, give us the voter rolls and we'll leave. That's what the mafia says.
I know.
And I think they're trying out different ways to get the voter rolls, because in Atlanta, they're saying that if they can't get the voter rolls, it's proof, and that's what this raid was for. It's proof that that county, Fulton County, cannot be trusted, and therefore you need to have what go down there to make sure everything's safe. ICE.
I was gonna say ICE.
Yes, they're gonna send ICE to Atlanta, an all black city, and you know, especially they're only going to be in Fulton County, making it very difficult to do anything. Also, the second, I don't even know if you can call this a conspiracy theory, but I want to get your thoughts on it. Back in 2021, when we were probably laughing, having a great time, guess who wasn't? Because they were unable to have fun. The Georgia Republicans, they were busy passing a law that said that they can take over your local elections board if there are investigations as to their credibility. First of all, investigations is very flimsy because I can investigate you. That doesn't mean you're doing anything.
Mhm.
But it does give them a reason to say these investigations are shady. We need to send our people in there. So what do you think about that?
I just think this is all huge distraction. And for people who are writing in the comments saying that Fulton County didn't count this many votes or whatever, this could not have been further investigated, prosecuted, looked into, and zero issues came out of the Georgia election, the entire election. And so this.
No, Tori, 60 things came out. They got 60 cases thrown out about this. So no, we need to count that. They lost in court 60 times.
They lost 60 cases on this.
Which is, I don't know the law. Is that a lot?
That's true.
Okay.
But if you continue to believe that, and Georgia, then any facts that we give you is wasted on you. Because if you believe this one person over the entire judicial branch, then there's no worth. It's not even having a debate, because you don't obviously believe in facts. You believe in conspiracy theories spread by people that want to distract and get back and not have a place in actual reality. So like, I can't fight with you on this. It's like the sky is blue, water is wet. The election wasn't stolen. I said it so many times on DBL. It's just a fact. And we just will agree to disagree until the end of time on this one.
Yeah, I mean, you know what? It'll be the end. I think that'll be the thing as the apocalypse is upon all of us. The last thing we hear is stop the steal, and you'll be like, Jesus, and then the sun will explode. It's just like till the end.
Yeah, no.
We will ride it out. And I have a little bit of respect. I mean, it's just, I wish I cared about things that much that weren't my children or my friends. Maybe I need to find a way to get some more free time. All right, Tori, let's move on because we got a bunch of stuff to talk about. Let's just knock this Trump stuff out with one more story. All right, Tori. Now we're going deeper in the South. We're going to Texas, where a father and his 5-year-old child are being held. Have you been following this case?
This is Liam.
Baby Liam.
The 5-year-old with the bunny hat.
Yes. Yeah, him and his father have been detained for, I don't know the approximate amount of time, but I think 1 minute, 1 second for a 5-year-old to be detained anywhere. You detain things that are a menace or a possible threat to anybody. And the only thing that this kid was a threat of is being unbelievably adorable. His picture, those bottom teeth, bro. What a cutie. And his father said that he's depressed and fallen ill.
This is a big deal. I wanted to bring this up too, because if you guys don't know, Liam was used as bait. So they wanted to get his father. And so they used him to knock on the door to get to the father. And they used him as bait and then detained Liam and his father. There's a picture of him not feeling well in the detention center. But I want to remind people, and I'm not comparing the Holocaust to this. I know, because as a Jewish person, that Holocaust stands alone as something else. But like Anne Frank didn't die of like a gas chamber, right? She died of cholera, or I think it was dysentery, or disease within the camps. And what the New York Times is starting to report is that there's an infection going around, Al, in the detention centers that is wiping out people, and that there are no cameras in there. We don't have anybody to hold us accountable of what's going in there. And that Liam is another person in this unventilated, sort of horrific Japanese internment type camps where we're hearing screaming and sobbing from the people on the inside. And there's nobody there looking to see that what's being done is according to law, according to American values, according to our Constitution. And so now we're getting worried about what's happening in the detention centers in terms of illness. And they said, and Julia says, I read this too, that all that detention staff are doing are giving some people aspirin And with cholera, dysentery, anything like that, where you're in a group, it'll spread like that. I mean, it spreads like
Absolutely.
extremely fast. And Michael Dean says reports are that Liam is very, pretty sick. They were on the Capitol Hill asking for his direct release, calling for him by name, saying we don't use 5-year-old children as bait. ICE was supposed to take out criminals, not 5-year-olds. So another optic that I don't want to just make him an optic, but another image that symbolizes what's going on is that bunny hat picture will rest in people's minds, just like the VA nurse, just like Renee Good, as a symbol of how far we went with ICE and how it took our children. And that picture is very representative of the way that ICE is taking control.
Well,
So,
Tori, I mean, just to kind of piggyback off of what you're saying, as you mentioned the optics, you would think after 2 weeks of optics that have sent this entire plan that they had laid out and have been working on for years into a tailspin, you would not want the optics of a 5-year-old. I would think, even if your intentions are the most nefarious that they could be,
I agree with you.
You would want to have the optic of having an ICE agent carrying this young boy into the ambulance, and then he's getting the best care, and we send him, he's going to Disney World. Because that would shut down a lot of that narrative. But like if something happens to this child, I think all bets are off.
I agree with you.
I think all bets are. There was already, and that's what we were talking about this. There was a disturbance where the tear gas was released. People are going to go. People are going to go. I think that might be it.
I agree with you. And the revolution, whether it started with a shot at Renee Good, the VA nurse, Alex Preddy, or this 5-year-old Liam, these are the things that spark outrage, and not just in Democrats, for Republican moms drinking wine, for the rural community. They don't want to see a 5-year-old killed or get sick or even being held in detention. And so it doesn't read well. It doesn't look well. And even Trump, who I think has no empathy for anyone, has to be able to see that isn't a story that you want running underneath your administration. Again, with Colleen Kennedy says, why can't they release him to his mother? If his father is a concern, we all agree. Actually, on the Hill today, when they were discussing Liam, they talked about that as well. But that image with the blue bunny hat of just pure innocence being held with those big, strong arms of ICE, it's a symbolism of what they're doing to our country. I mean, it is.
I think that picture may be in history books one day.
I agree with you.
Quite frankly,
it says a lot. And and I would also like there to be some enforcement of and transparency of what's going on in the detention centers. What is going on with the illness? What is happening? Is there food and water? Is there medicine?
Tori, let me say this on a totally just a real life experience that I've had, that just I started thinking about it when you were talking about the conditions in the detention center. Don't forget, Mama, I worked on cruise ships, and especially towards the tail end of my experience there, the norovirus was going around.
Totally, right.
And the norovirus is just basically people not washing their hands good enough, and it spreads like wildfire on a ship, to the point where they would dock ships and cancel a cruise. And I'm talking about, Tori, there's 24/7 round the clock. I've seen 3 a.m. I'm leaving the nightclub and there's a dude scrubbing the brass railing. They clean those ships because they're so scared of the norovirus, because that's their whole business. They don't want 400 people on board with diarrhea, you know?
Yeah.
And it's still spread.
Yeah.
It's still an issue. And I honestly, I would testify in court, I don't think that you could clean those ships any more than they do. Yeah. So imagine a place where they're not cleaning it at all.
At all. I agree with you. To someone who says, I would want you to enter any country illegally and see how another country treats you. I don't care. This is our country. We have rights. The people that are non-citizens also have rights. So even though you think they're aliens or criminals, you can't possibly, with your critical mind, think that a 5-year-old could be doing something harmful. He was going to school. Like, in your heart of hearts, you think that that's okay. Then you and I, we don't have anything to discuss, because that's a line in the sand for most Americans, I would think, Republican or Democrat.
I do think about the freedom it must be to go through life and that's not a line in the sand for you. I'm like, what else can you do? You're like that old lady standing near those stairs.
Yeah, let's go get her.
I can just shove her and take her purse. I mean, yo, hey, good for you. I mean, wow, that it's amazing. I mean, the freedom. Like, I just know, like, I've known you for a third of my adult life, Tori, and the way that you beat yourself up about things that like don't. You're just like, do you think I give the waiter enough? Did I give him a weird look? Should I finish like the way we think about because we don't want to hurt people, and other people are like, F that kid. What's for dinner? And you're like, that's horrible, but damn.
Yeah, like you guys are on a just totally different level.
Yeah.
And by the way, sweet James, you're asking which laws. The entire 10 Bill of Rights all apply to non-citizens as well as citizens. And that has been proven. You can look it up. But those 10 Bill of Rights apply to non-US citizens and American citizens both. And right now you're violating the first, the fourth, and the fifth, and the eighth, which is inhumane treatment. So, you know, if you believe to be a constitutionalist, then you really should try protecting those rights, especially for a 5-year-old.
I don't think we can have too many constitutionalists left. I mean, they're entering homes without warrants.
That's true.
I was saying on the thread yesterday, Tori, don't even worry about that, dude. I was like, I wonder how this regime is going to affect like our television and movie going forward, because like if you think about every episode of Law and Order or some kind of cop show, there's a 10-minute segment where they got to go see the judge. He's got his suspenders. He's in his office, and they're like, I need a warrant to search Schulman's house. And they're like, yeah, I'm not putting my name on that. She's the mayor's daughter. And they're like, we got good. It's like you had to get but now they're just like, every Law and Order is just going to be like, we think this guy may live here. We kicked the door in. It was a guy in hospice. So we're going to go look for it. Like they did everything that we knew.
No, you're right.
Everything we thought we had is gone.
Yeah, our rights
does not exist.
Our inalienable rights that were self-evident apparently are not. And I just want to read out what Michael Dean found. The Constitution, just for those who don't believe me and say I'm an idiot, often protects persons, not just citizens, and courts have read long that persons include non-citizens who are physically present in the United States. So if you're arguing with me, you're arguing with judges. So just that's the truth of it. Again, I'm not going to waste my breath on you, but those 10 Bill of Rights that, again, we thought were self-evident, Al, apparently not so evident.
Yeah, and I mean, those are probably bots, Tori, but I mean, they still, there's the way a lot of people feel. And, you know, it's really interesting how, you know, somebody's so passionate about this 5-year-old, but don't care about warrants, don't care about freedom of assembly, don't care about, you know, any of the basic rights, you know, freedom to protest, anything. Those are even the 2A. That was really the amendment, if you think about it, of all the amendments.
I know.
That got stepped on. Everybody was like, hey, brah, don't go there. That was the first time they really backed up, is when the NRA stepped up, because
they were like,
that's their base. But you know, but why isn't freedom of speech their base? Because like, where are all the independents? Where are all the like Republicans that were saying Obama's about to be a dictator? Like, where are all those people now?
Absolutely. And Pete Buttigieg put out a thing that said, this is a great time for a libertarian or conservative to understand the values of our Constitution and fight for the rights of our country. This is a really good time for you to step up at this point. But yeah, don't tread on me, folks. It looks like 5-year-olds are getting treaded upon. And so it's...
yeah, I miss small government Republicans. They were cool.
Yeah, they didn't want you in their business.
Yeah,
so,
now they're just like, you know, here's what you have for dinner. We never got to that story. Remember that it was like 2 Fridays ago, like the health ministry or whatever we call our department now, said that Americans, in order to save money, did you see this? Said that they're in order to save money, you can have a piece of chicken, a piece of broccoli, something else. And what was the other thing? It was one other, like a tortilla, I think.
Like a cracker or something. Yeah.
Yeah. And I was just like, wow, like that's, I don't know. It's just interesting how there's no pushback. Can you imagine if Obama suggested that? Hey, you poor Southern Americans, get a saltine. You get,
broccoli.
get one gummy bear. That's your dessert, buddy. and an expired Nutri-Grain bar. That's how you're going to save money. Like it's just interesting how certain people just like, they don't care if they totally disrespect them. But I care if people disrespect my people. Tori, let's get to this. Let's I've been kind of wanting to talk about this. Tori, we're talking about Nicki Minaj. Can you name one Nicki Minaj song?
Money, dirty money. Is that not?
That could be. I mean, maybe not. That's like if you asked AI to make you a Nicki Minaj song.
I actually don't know a lot of Nicki Minaj songs, but I do know she's getting closer and closer to Donald.
Oh, woo! Absolutely, Tori. Let me read you this, my darling dear. Nicki Minaj posted that she received a gold Trump card after publicly praising him, shocker, adding that she is finalizing her citizenship paperwork. Wait a second. So she's not a citizen either?
No.
Even though she's going through the process, shouldn't she be arrested?
Yeah, and not only that, I think she has a husband in custody she's desperately looking for pardon and a check and money because she's low on that due to terrible concert sales, amongst other things. 10 million people unfollowed her. And she is doubling down, just a hard turn, held hands with the president. He said he'd grow out his nails like Nicki. Ha, 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 ha. Like they're all just joking and laughing. And you're thinking all of her gay followers, all of her minority followers are just like aghast and just appalled at this hypocrisy and this turnaround for her own benefit. It's just a terrible look.
Right. I don't know.
What is a Trump card? Thank you. What is a Trump card?
Oh, you guys don't know what the Trump card is?
What does it get you?
It gets you into the country.
Oh, yeah.
He's selling. Remember, this is around the time that he tried to get Melania in on the Einstein visa. And the world almost, I think the devil himself almost came up like, are you effing kidding me? I think it's like, I'm chilling down there a lot, but I think I can't believe my ears. But right. I think this is around the same time.
It costs $1 million. That's exactly right. Thank you, Matilda. To get the Trump gold card, which is your golden ticket into the United States.
And nowhere else. It's the opposite of American Express. It's accepted nowhere. Excuse me, Tori. I'll be paying for this round of drinks. Is my Trump card. Next thing you know is like, I get to call my lawyer. Get your hands off me. I'll leave.
That is crazy. Yeah. It's funny that someone who just wrote that, Julia said Kanye's trying to turn away from Trump very clearly in his apology. Nicki had to step up. Just come on, Nicki. How transparent and dumb do you look?
Well,
I mean, this is.
Yeah. I mean.
And then when he's out of office, what is Nicki Minaj going to do? She's going to try and fall back on her fans.
This is what we talked about earlier in the show, Tora, about like congressmen that just lit their career for what?
Yeah, for what exactly?
Yeah, and it's like she is wait, here's the question, Tori, and Michael Dean, I want to get your thoughts as well. Is she the most relevant celebrity on the Trump? Because they're all like washed up. Dean Cain.
Yeah,
he got the last Village person. Remember, he made him come out and say it's not a gay. He was like, it's not. Like it's like, have you heard the first verse? Then they sued Jim Jeffries, my homie, for saying that on a podcast.
Damn.
Or threatened suit unless he recanted. It's just like, it's so ridiculous. But is she the most relevant celebrity he has?
Yo, yeah. By far, because you have the Kid Rocks and all that, but again, not as relevant as a Nicki Minaj.
Kid Rock is so washed up.
I know.
That's what I tell my kids that before dinner. I'm like, go Kid Rock before you eat. He is washed. He is done. Yes,
he is cooked. But yeah, she's a huge celebrity to have. And it's a big base for him to get into that group. And I just, when they say you're throwing the baby out with the bathwater, it's like she doesn't seem to think ahead as to like what this would actually do to her career. And it's very Candace Owens. It's very like, what are you thinking, Nikki? What are you
But,
thinking?
you know, Candace trafficked in Republican circles and like was, you know, she got her street cred with the Republicans when she went in front of Capitol Hill and was like, Hitler wasn't all bad. He just
Yeah.
should have kept it in Germany. Everybody was like, oh, you know, I don't think that's the take.
Oh,
But like she's been, you know, she worked for the Daily Wire with Ben Shapiro. Like that's her base. She can't, and
yeah.
then she blew up after Charlie Kirk assassinated. I just think Nikki, I just don't get it because you're saying, you know, how did she not see this coming? She did after she had to delete her Instagram account, and then she doubled. What now?
Down.
Here's what I've heard, Tori. This is alleged.
Let's hear.
Michael Dean, can you look this up because they're actual cases? I just want to make sure I'm saying the right people. Her husband,
yes,
her current husband,
is in jail.
He was in jail for some kind of essay on a minor, but it's a weird thing. They were both minors. It wasn't that he was older. It was just a good old meat and potatoes essay.
Wow.
So he was in jail for that. And then he got out and assaulted. This is all alleged because until Michael Dean confirms, but I'm 99.9% sure. He assaulted a security guard recently, like in the last 2 or 3 years. And she had to, maybe 4 or 5 years, and she had to sell her house or one of her houses to pay him. And she just paid him like last week or last month. This dragged on for like 4 years. And also her brother.
Yeah, that's the other one. There's another family member.
Yeah, Tori, there's a bunch of people. So everybody's saying that she might be riding for pardons, but what's the point of getting everybody pardoned if you ain't got no dough?
That's true. And maybe he'll give her, maybe she's hoping for, I don't know, maybe another kind of trump card. Michael Dean wanted to know he's had attempted first-degree rape in New York when he was a teenager. He served prison time after pleading guilty to first-degree manslaughter.
Oh, it was a manslaughter after the rape. Excuse me.
Separately, though, he was sentenced to home detention and probation in a federal case for failing to register as a sex offender in California, all of which, if you're in a federal crime, you can get pardoned, which I'm sure she's hoping for.
And, you know, I don't want to beat this to death, but and also he did assault a security guard, just a guy in a yellow jacket at one of her concerts overseas. And I guess beat him up pretty bad. And the guy sued her pants off. And she's
lacking money. She needs
she's lacking money because, Tori, they said that she waited. I think the lawsuit was like in 2022.
Yeah, it was.
And she just paid the money like literally last week. And I think that's because she was dragging ass, bro.
I think you're right.
So then it's even more strange, even though like when Tori, I'm going to did I delete that already? Maybe I don't have the Nicki Minaj from yesterday, but she doesn't look right.
Yeah, she looks,
and that's not insulting her looks. She looks distant. She looks like she's having something's going on.
And she sounded distant. She was like, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And we're not saying anything. We're not clinicians, but it did feel off. It didn't feel like the Nicki that comes out and has like a strong presence at all. I just think that how low can you go for people that are so horrific? And even if I get that they're in your family, but to go against all of your fans, all of your morals or supposed morals to get this done, it just, what producer is going to work with you? Like
nobody would associate their name with you.
Exactly. Like who's going to do a collab with you, which you desperately need to get back into the good graces? Like nobody. So career-ending move, on my opinion.
I mean, Tori, if you think about it, just to put a point on it, the sentence that she'll have to say to her fans is, I'm sorry I disappointed you by going after and supporting the president you hate to emancipate two convicted SA offenders.
Yeah.
That's why I blew all of this up. I think it's hard for people to understand. Like there's some artists that really, when DMX died, my boy Joey, good friend of mine, lives in Colorado Springs with his awesome wife. She works for the city. And he texted me when we were on the panel, when we were on air. And there was a couple of like right-wing influence, like radio hosts, because radio was still big back then, that I think really had to back up because they went on just doing their normal, a black guy died. They were like, he was a crackhead, a felon. And I think that they didn't realize that their even younger white constituents was like, watch your mouth, bro. Joey, who is not a Republican in any way, shape, or form, was like when he was homeless and living in his car, DMX got him through, and it's the reason he's here. And a lot of people feel like that about Nikki, and it's very difficult when you lose somebody that meant so much to you.
Absolutely. Yeah. She
All
went
right.
to where she thinks she's going to get her money, not where her values are. So
That's right. All right, Tori. Well, let's do this. I think it's time to move on. Oh, Tori, we are moving on, and you better not be moving on without going to Spider. That's right. Spider Moving and Storage are people from day one. Vlad and the boys have been with us since day one, and I ride with him forever. He will be at the Super Bowl party along with yourself, Tori, and Michael Dean. Obviously, you are would be a guest of honor as well. But yes, if you guys need to move anything, I think I speak for Tori when I say we put the full weight of our full name in balance.
our weight, the name weight, the weight of our name.
We put the full weight of our name.
Full weight.
We put the full weight of our name behind Spider. We joke around a lot, but honestly, straight up, they are the best. I have had disasters with movers. I told you my daughter's mother, and I hope I'm not speaking out of school, but it happened and people need to know about it. She worked for a very prominent tech firm in NoCal. When they got put on permanent work from home, remember they were like, some of those tech firms were the first to do that, let people work from home. She owned a house in the South, so she was going to move her furniture from her home in NoCal to Georgia, and the moving truck never arrived.
Ay, ay, ay.
All my daughter's blankets, her pictures,
Oh man,
teddy bears, shoes, everything just gone. And apparently it's like a big thing with moving companies that are registered in Florida. They're like shady laws down there, so you can just like not bring their stuff. So movers they're not just hit and miss. Sometimes they're catastrophic. That also happened to a friend of mine's brother moving to Dallas. Just moving truck never showed up. You know who will show up? Spider. So make sure.
Right.
Tori, speaking of showing up, I was thinking the Super Bowl is this weekend, so we were going to do our Super Bowl picks, but it's not. So we have all next week.
Yeah, Super Bowl is not. Yeah.
All right. Well, shit. Well, then will you give me a chance? Because I want to do this, and my dumb Mac won't let me airdrop anything. So I'm going to enter the studio because I really wanted to do this story with you, even if it kind of makes the show weird, because I think it's that important. Talk to the people, Tori. Don't just sit there.
Oh.
Yeah, we're trying to retain people.
Okay, so what's everybody watching right now? Is everyone watching Heated Rivalry? Because that's what so many people in my office are talking about. It's that hockey movie where the two men are lovers.
It's a series, not a movie.
It's a series, and everyone's discussing it, and they're getting hot and bothered by it, and they love it. And I have yet to watch it, and I didn't know if anyone else has watched Heated Rivalry. Oh, Michael Dean says that was big like 2 weeks ago. You're late.
Oh.
Okay. So what is everybody watching now that's in the zeitgeist right now? At least as he is not watching. I watched an Elizabeth Smart documentary, which was very interesting.
Didn't we interview her?
Yes, we did interview her. She's amazing. Oh, The Pit. I am also watching The Pit. I just finished the first season, and tonight I have another episode, Indy. I love The Pit, and Kanoa Wiley, like, God, he can't be anything but a doctor, right? Like, my word, that man is, I mean, I would believe him if I were on a plane and I needed like someone to massage my heart and Noah Wiley was there. I was like, you're up, Wiley, like 100% believe him.
How often do you need a heart massage on a plane?
You know, if the heart has stopped, you need to caress and massage the heart.
Well, that would mean that your ribs are gone and they can
For sure. No, you
in.
can, you know, retract, but I would think no one would
You
know.
can't retract the ribs. You can break them.
You can break them and retract.
That's not retracting. All right,
Yeah.
Tori, I wanted to do this story because I saw this picture of this hot felon, and I wanted to know, have you seen this story?
God, it's just because you think she's hot.
No, okay, have you seen her?
She is very pretty.
Okay.
You got to remove us. She's
Okay.
very pretty.
Yes. Now, Tori, do you know what she went to jail for?
For being too hot.
You have to guess. What do you think she's in jail for?
Shoplifting?
No. No, Tori, she's not in jail for shoplifting.
Did she do something? Is it bad?
No, it's just super cray cray, which I don't know. I wanted to see like how bad somebody can go before you're like, I can't deal with them. Let me see if I can. If it doesn't
She
show up,
even
I'll
has
read it.
highlighter. Like she contoured her nose.
Yes, I will read what it
Really
said.
looks great.
This is a viral mugshot of a woman arrested after sleeping with her ex's best friend and uncle, then crashing his birthday party dressed as a singing telegram.
I don't know if that's illegal.
I think you're telling on yourself. I think that maybe that's just how you roll.
No, but like what was it, adultery that she was charged for?
I think she was probably making a disturbance, Tori. I don't think she just said, "Excuse me, can I talk to both of you guys as soon as you're done with happy birthday?" I think she's probably losing her S.
Man, she does look like a young J-Lo, doesn't she? Someone wrote that in that. So she's crazy, but yeah, it's unethical, but I just didn't. Okay.
Okay, so how much of a pass do you give somebody that's extremely attractive, Tori?
I mean, there shouldn't be any at all, but her eyebrows are amazing. If you
Well, I'm she's stunning.
beautiful. She's
That's her in jail. Like, imagine if Jeray got at her.
someone wrote, she fine.
She is fine. And it's just like some people, you know what it is? And it's like I told you, my boy Jim Jeffries, he had that joke about how you never see tens in public.
Yeah, I was gonna
He's
say
like,
that.
where are they?
They're
You
right
know?
here.
Yeah, but it's like, okay, there is a thing called pretty privilege. It's a thing.
100%. Yes, of course. But what, like, do we know why she was arrested? Even Lee's asking. Lee, someone else.
It says arrested after sleeping with ex's best friend and uncle and then crashing his birthday party. I don't know if she did. She must have done something.
Maybe it was
takes
just
a lot to get arrested.
trespassing or something like that. Maybe I don't know. Whatever.
I mean, for the most part, assuming most cops, no matter how they feel about you, don't want to really deal.
Yeah.
They're people at work. They don't want to really take you down, book you, have you screaming. They usually, because I'm sure a lot of situations where girls come home and find dudes in bed or whatever, and they're like, "Get one of y'all got to get out of here, get your stuff." But you got to do something to get arrested, not just detained, not just questioned, but to get booked.
Get a mugshot.
Yeah, like to the point where they're like, we're pretty confident we can file charges and be successful in them, because they don't want to lose cases either.
No, I
so
know.
They have to be pretty sure that they can get you on it. So she did something.
She did something beautiful, but if you did something, you got to face the consequences. Still very pretty, very, very pretty.
Do you think I think just like people like that, even though they do something insane, like if I did something like that, that would just be it. I'd be there'd be a red dot over my location at all times. They'd be like, oh, but somebody like her, I feel like she could go back to either one of those guys and be like, I'm sorry, daddy. And
yeah, they're like, it's okay.
It was a long weekend. It was Mercury was in retrograde. Everything was crazy.
I thought it was you. I thought it was you. Yeah.
All right, Tori. Well, let's get out here with some knowledge. How about that? Let's do this, girl. Tori, before we do this, I want us to get to really quickly. Hold on, we're backing up. We got to do this story because it's important. Really quickly. Tori, really quickly, I want to know if you had anything to say about the Sonia Massey case. She was the Black woman that was it. We had to talk about this. Come on, Doug.
Yes, I'm glad you did.
Yeah. So thank you, Michael Dean, for getting that up. The shooter, the police officer that shot her, got 20 years, which is weird. When Michael Dean posted this for Stories to Do today, in my head, I was confusing Sonia Massey. Who's the white woman that was stabbed 37 times and the cops were like, she did it herself? And they're still
I don't remember her name.
I was thinking about her. So I was like, oh, the black woman with mental health issues that had the pot of water and they were like, she's going to throw it on me.
Yes. She called the police herself for a prowler. She had often been somewhat paranoid, but she had called for help. She was in the kitchen. There was some water boiling and the cop shot her, I believe, 3 times in the face.
Yeah,
Um,
it was pretty brutal, girl.
it was awful, and he has now been charged with and sentenced to 20 years in prison, which is rare for a
I was
cop.
shocked.
It's very rare, and we're clearly seeing some movement in police accountability, at least, because it was a horrific ending that absolutely could have been avoided. And she was literally calling for help. She was literally just calling because she was scared, and she herself got shot. And I do also want to add, talking about this, that the man who tried Derek Chauvin has taken on the case of Alex Preddy pro bono.
Oh,
Yeah. So that lawyer, I cannot remember his name, has now agreed to help the Preddy family. I know Renee Good's family was looking at the lawyer that helped with George Floyd as well, but they're retaining the same lawyers that have gone through the same thing. So important information, but I'm so glad Sonia Massey got at least some retribution. Her family got some justice. Just completely uncalled for. Yeah, the way that he said it was that she could have thrown the pot of boiling water as a weapon.
it
And
was such weak sauce.
yeah, I mean, the jury saw right through it.
Yeah, and I
I'm
believe
very
this
glad.
officer had
Has
had
had
several.
problems.
Yeah, this is like his third or fourth police department, because he's been, I guess when you suck, they just move you out to another one.
Yeah, they just throw, yeah,
Um,
exactly.
yeah, and it's kind of like, when you hear something like there's been a priest that's been accused of something, and then you hear that they've been accused in 9 other parishes.
For sure.
The ICE officer that murdered Renee Good, I believe he has had 35 accusations of excessive force.
Oh, Jonathan Ross, the man
Yes.
who shot Renee Good.
Yeah.
Yes. And the 2 men that shot Alex Preddy have been put on administrative leave. However, they've all 3 of these gentlemen, I shouldn't say gentlemen. I should not say gentlemen, in my opinion, but they have left the state, and they're being held somewhere particularly safe by some Department of Homeland Security. We don't know, but the 2 at the
Isn't that what the
Preddy,
mafia does, Tori?
totally just like relocates, but they have been put on administrative leave. Yes, his name is Steve Schleicher, partner at the Minneapolis firm Maison to represent them, and it is reportedly being done as pro bono. So good news in the way that they're at least finding someone that's been through this before. Yeah, it's a paid leave, by the way, administrative paid leave.
Tori, I do want to ask, and obviously you're not a lawyer, but do you think if this lawyer is representing them against ICE agents that are not in the state, can the state make it so that they have to come back to face trial, or can they just like go up against the general federal counsel?
They can extradite. It's rare. It's very rare, and it's going to take a lot of doing, but they can extradite from state to state and bring them back to Minnesota and subpoena them.
Is it rare to extradite murderers? Don't they get serial killers in other states?
You and I
call
them murders. Some people don't. The justice system will have to look through this and see. But it's I'm just glad they're on some track with somebody that knows the ropes, because that can be an incredibly confusing and scary process.
Right. And intimidating, because trust me, if people that are filming are getting knocks on their door, what do you think the people that are suing are getting?
Exactly. Yeah. They're in some other database. You know what I mean?
Yeah. This is straight mafia tactics, but mafia lost in court a whole bunch. So let's hope that happens. All right, now we can get to the fun part, girl. Let's do it.
Okay, I think this is a cool fact. Do you guys remember or know the lollipop brand Chupa Chups?
Yes, I kind of do, because I always thought that was the worst name.
You guys know, and in the chats, you guys are aware of this lollipop. If you didn't know, the person who designed the logo, their logo for the Chupa Chups lollipop was Salvador Dali.
Oh, that woke me up.
I know.
That's crazy.
Isn't that cool?
We might have to get an image of that. You pulled that out, because I was about to roast you for that one. bringing up a bootleg sucker, and like at least it's like you ain't got nothing on Dum Dums. Who made that?
No, I was hoping for Tootsie Rolls, but yeah, Salvador Dali designed the logo for the Chupa Chups.
And Tori, can we just say this?
People are like, nobody cares. Sorry, guys. I thought that was cool.
I wonder about, can we just all, as colleagues, come to a collective and say that Tootsie Rolls sucked? They're horrible. They're hard as shit.
Or the Pops?
Oh, I meant like the little round Tootsie Rolls that are in the wrapper.
Terrible.
They're like,
they look like
you're going to have chocolate. Why do you need it to be?
Oh, this is it. Salvador Dali.
Are we sure?
Yes.
Is that his brother, Saul? That doesn't look like a world-class painter did that. That looks like a Canva logo. Mom's leggings. It's like, that was not, I thought there was going to be like a cool, like, design.
Surreal thing on there.
Yeah. Maybe like he just took the check. Look, all artists just do things for the check. And they're like, I got Salvador Dali. Who'd you get? That's what I thought. Shut up. Then they unveiled it in the meeting and they were like, and this is the name of our company. I'll see myself out. I know I'm fired.
I do think that Dolly Pops would have been a really good idea. Oh my God, Dolly for like Lolly. Dolly Pops. Because he created the logo. Instead of Chupa Chups, call it a Dolly Pop.
But who would make that association?
We all would.
What person on the planet would make that association between 11-cent lollipop
and
that they found in their backpack 2 years later and Salvador Dali? Who would make that connection?
Well, I just think that's a cooler way than Chupa Chups, but whatever. W also hates Tootsie Roll. Don't they look like turds? And they're very hard to eat.
They do. They're hard. It's not worth. It's like, look, there's some things. I'll tell you this. There's some candy at World Market that I'll go to war for. They had these hard lychee flavored candies. They were from Japan. I broke a tooth on them one time at DBL, had to go to the dentist, and I kept eating them. That's how good they are. If I'm going to eat some hard candy, I'm going to break my teeth on some delicious Korean lychee flavored candy. I'm not going out on some Tootsie Rolls. Blow Pop, very underrated.
I agree with you, but
very underrated.
But like Tootsie Rolls for me, same category as a Milk Dud. Useless. What are we doing here?
I don't know about that.
Jaw for what? You like Milk Duds?
Yeah, I mean, I don't look. I cannot be strident in my argument with you because chewing a Milk Dud just feels like you're halfway through your second job. You know, when you were on your 6 to 10 job and it's only $7.50, you're like, oh my God. It just feels like you're at work. Like it's so hard to chew. It's
totally
crazy. So I do get what you're saying, but at least when you do the work, Tori, this is what you tell kids, you get chocolate and caramel. What I didn't like about the Tootsie Rolls is they start off sweet, but then you're okay. So you're like, I'm digging this. And then all of a sudden just a big dense rock of chocolate is, I'm like, I was into the cherry, bro. I don't want to have a mix and match.
I see. You're talking about Tootsie Roll Pops, not Tootsie Roll.
Yeah, the Tootsie Rolls I just never touched. Those are just for throwing at Halloween.
Well, Dick Slapping Hose, great name, as I am joking, says candy corn is good. Again, highly disagree. Piece of plastic, not great. So my least favorite has to be the candy corn.
Oh, wait. Would you do Smarties over candy corn? Because I would.
Always. I would eat glass over candy corn.
Okay. Here's a question. The little candy pumpkins?
That's it.
No, the kettle corn is, the candy corn is the triangle that looks like a safety cone with tri-colored.
Yeah.
And then there's just a thing that looks like an actual pumpkin.
Oh.
They suck too. That's what I'm saying. It's a battle.
I would take the pumpkin thing. I would take a circus peanut. Like I would take that over a candy corn.
Shout out my dad up above, Oath the Jackson. The only candy he ate were the two worst candies ever made. He ate circus peanuts and Nico wafers.
My dad also eats Nico wafers.
God, I just think that's the generation didn't think they deserved to be happy. They're like, this was sidewalk chalk, but now you can eat it. It's
chalk.
It's chalk. We would eat them and be like, what is going on? Are you all right?
My dad pops them. Like he's like, yeah, Nico wafer. Yeah.
Can you still get them?
Yes, and whenever we find them, we get them for him, and I'm like, I'm so sorry. Here's your gift. It's so gross. Yeah, candy corn tastes like wax. I agree.
This is what I'll say in closing, because we could talk about this all day. You know what I've been talking about on stage that I find out a lot of adults really like, and it's probably adults like me that have younger kids, so they brought them into our life. The nerd gummy clusters.
Yeah.
Better than nerds.
I've heard that.
Better than nerds.
I've heard that.
Yeah, they look. They don't
texture.
look good. They look like a mass.
Wait, Al, have you tried? I'm sorry, I'm a big candy guy. Have you tried the Skittle gummies?
Yes,
Michael Dean. I'm not even. We don't have enough time to have the. They are delicious.
They are the best things out there right now.
They're amazing. I think they're better than Skittles, and I like Skittles a lot.
They are.
Taste the rainbow, guys. It's there.
It's amazing.
Yeah, okay. Candy's leveled up. All right, leave it right there, Michael Dean. That's the way, like, he comes in as like the wacky neighbor on our podcast, and Michael Dean, and then it just freezes. All right, colleagues, I love y'all. Thank you for indulging us on our little chit chat on candy, but it needed to be had.
It needed to be had.
Tori, just like your presence needs to be had, because I love you, girl. I will see you in a couple hours, because we're about to dominate at trivia. So until then, colleagues, I will see y'all soon. We out. Yeah.